Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This week's matchup.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Washington Redskins. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. The fourth-year man out of Eastern Illinois, Jimmy Garoppolo, leading them out onto the field.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Garoppolo. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away at its second down. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
Second down following the incompletion. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. The 20. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Garoppolo to throw on second down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Emmanuel Sanders with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't throw him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 18-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. So a big pickup that time, and Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Garoppolo looks to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Marvin Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll go again with Kelly. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers, because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. For Cousins. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here we go on 4th down with Garoppolo. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard. Yeah,
putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra, that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him a gain of 37. Jimmy Garoppolo, the starter here, finally lured away from the Patriots. What are some things you like about JG?
Well, I love his makeup, meaning obviously he has a physical ability. He can throw the football, but he's mentally tough as well. And he developed while he was there in New England. They actually trained him to be a starter even though he wasn't getting any type of snaps. And this guy adapts and thrives with the ability to play against pressure.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And the play clock's running down.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back
Still
5.
first down.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. They'll drop the throw, and that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Broncos will extend their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard at the 13-yard line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. To throw, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Caught on the right side, Reed. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's caught. Jones. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They go back to the ground now with Charles. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And this offense has converted twice already here in this first half on 4th down conversions. And here we go again. There's Garoppolo to throw. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. We remind you, no night game tonight on Christmas Eve, but we make that up with 2 games under your tree tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. Yes. I'm just reading the card. I got to give props to our writer, Ed Brady, there. But we start with the Steelers and Texans at 4:30 Eastern, followed by the Raiders and Eagles, a Super Bowl 15 rematch. You impressed that I know that?
I'm very much impressed that you know that. It was the MVP.
Yep, that'll be at 8:30 Eastern from Philadelphia. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken around the 12. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Second down, Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On the run, it's Kelly. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll return it from the 6. Spinning past him. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flush to his right. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they timed it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Garoppolo now. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? On play action, now Garoppolo. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the 1st half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slip.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The rookie from Alabama, Jonathan Allen. And it'll be a 2nd and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. A first down carry here for Charles. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's Terrell Pryor now as his guys head back out onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broad. Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift. Take the halftime. Show off, partner. We got some football to get to. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Cousins now. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They run with it. It's Kelly. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's Cousins. Got his man over the middle. This is quick. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Second down now after the pass completion. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is what...
And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Broncos add on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. On 1st and 10, Cousins out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by DJ Swearinger, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. He's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line.
No, check, Patriot!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
This is taken at his 4. Uses the stiff arm. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes.
Jordan Reed, he's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family, because that's a huge part of it.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Rob Kelly, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. Chargers have just scored, so they extend their lead. Phillip Rivers with 1 touchdown pass thus far. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the Bronco for sure.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's at the 50. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now, the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he checks this one down to Williams. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And caught, right side, Green. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, Detroit.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos add on. And that passing touchdown gives him the record for the most in a single game. We have seen a historic performance here in this one.
And the word that comes to mind for me, partner, is relentless. This guy today has been relentless in going after this record. And what an accomplishment for the new single-game record.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because of them.
Under pressure, they got him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Cousins. Pryor has it complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, Cousins. He finds Quick. The 40, 30, 10. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Quick, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to get a score back.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
On the run, it's Charles. Fancy footwork by Charles. Jamal Charles, nobody in front. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jamal Charles, 78 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
16 yards there. Two straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Completes it to Quick. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down. Here's Cousins. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This is Kelly. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos add on. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Give him 30 yards there. And the former 4th-round pick in 2012 continuing to prove some of those doubters wrong that he used to have.
I remember when he got selected, there was a lot of controversy about that because remember, Robert Griffin III, they made the big move up to take him in the 1st round, and people wondered, why would you take a second rookie quarterback? Well, it's because he's smart, he studies hard, he prepares, he's ready to play, and now he's commanding the respect of his team and playing at a really high level. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we get.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead, and unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah, college, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort, at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now he's flushed out right. And Sanders has got it complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Screen pass to Charles. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And some strong running. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Out to the left here to Reed. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Cousins. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Garoppolo looking to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Here we go. Let's go. Green, 39. Gun.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. A swing pass caught. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And now they're in the hurry-up.
No. Check.
They'll let Charles try and get him in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.